This video is on the topic of recovering through the middle. This is a defending technique that's very important because it allows you to make up for mistakes. It's common in football for a player to get beaten. It happens to everybody. It's normal. But the question is, what happens after you get beaten, and are you able to get back and help to recover the ball? So here we have the example. Our right back is challenging the forward who has the ball, and because the right back is human, they get beaten. So they're going for the ball, and the forward does something and gets around them. So the forward has beaten the right back. Now, obviously the right back could throw up their arms and just stop playing, but any good player will realize that this play is not over, the ball is not in the net yet, and so they have something that they can do. So, in the meantime, seeing that the right back has been beaten, the next available defender, center back, needs to move over to block the direct pathway to goal. The center back should not run in and try to steal the ball from the forward. The center back should stay in front. And now we're going to focus on the right back, because recovering through the middle, this right back needs to get back to here, because that's the area that the center back has left. And so just as the center back is covering for the right back needs to cover for the center back. And so this is a very subtle difference, but the right back has a choice. The right back can come this way, or the right back can go this way. It can recover through the sideline, on the sideline, or it can recover through the middle. And there's a very big difference between the two of them, which I'll explain. If the right back decides to recover through the sideline, then what it does is it actually forces the forward inside. And so just as the center back is coming out wide to cover for the right back, the forward now is forced inside. And this is more dangerous. The forward is more dangerous here than they would be on the sideline. And often what that does, by recovering through by the sideline, sometimes right backs think, oh, I just stay on the right side. I'm a right back, so I just stay on the right side. Well, in this case, they should not, because after they do that, that opens up the middle for the forward to move into. And here they're really dangerous. Whereas out here, they weren't that dangerous when they were here. Now they're in the middle, going forward, and the center back is out of position. And if the left back didn't scoot over, then there's a huge hole there. And even if the left back did scoot over, now it's a 2-on-1 against the left back with the other forward. So it's become a very dangerous situation now. And this is primarily because that right back, they got beaten, but when they were recovering, they went on the outside. They went through the sideline. Now let's see what happens if he recovers through the middle. He's been beaten, so the forward is coming. He's not going to necessarily be faster than the forward, but he's maybe going to be alongside the forward like this. And so the forward senses that the right back is there. If they do cut inside, then the right back can make a play on the ball. So the forward is forced sideline. The forward is forced this way. And the center back now has it fairly well covered. They're between the forward and the goal, and the forward is going down the sideline, which is not as dangerous as the center of the field like before. So now the center back can cover here, and guess what the right back does? The right back continues recovering, doesn't recover back to the right back position because the center back has covered for him. Instead, the right back recovers inside and takes up the center back's position. So now if we look at what's happened, now the forward has beaten the right back, but the center back's covered, and now the right back has covered for the center back. So with this cyclical circular movement, now the forward still has to beat 2 more or 3 more defenders, whereas before it looked like they only had to beat 1. Because of this movement, now the forward is against the sideline and they have to beat 3 defenders. What's also been great about that is, as we force this forward sideways, that gives the rest of the team time to recover, as they should be. So the rest of the team can come back, and you can now see that the forward not only is isolated on this side of the field, they're also up against pretty much the entire red team. And so even though this right back was beaten over here, they didn't give up, and they were smart. Instead of going down the sideline, they recovered through the middle, and they switched with the center back, who is perfectly capable of defending here, and we've pinned the forward against the sideline. At this point, they have very few options. They can try to do a long cross in. They can try to beat the center back, and maybe they will beat the center back. And if they beat the center back, well, what should happen now? The right back covers for the center back, and the center back, instead of recovering this way, they just recover back through the center again, and bingo. We still have an advantageous position on this forward, even though they've beaten 2 of our players. You would think that if they've beaten 2 of your players, they're in on goal. But no, they've beaten 2 of your players, and they're up against practically the same number of defenders as before. So if we're smart with how we recover, recovering through the middle of the field, then we can basically create an endless supply of defenders. As long as their positioning and their effort is there, unless this forward is extremely fast, I can beat them 1, 2, 3 really quickly, we can basically give them an endless supply of defenders. So this is important for all players, even forwards. So if a forward gets beaten by a left back, for example, the forward goes to the ball and gets beaten by a left back. Once again, they shouldn't recover on the sideline, because here they're not doing anything here. Here they're just forcing the left back into the center, and that's a dangerous position. So even for a forward, if they get beaten, they should recover through the center, forcing this left back out wide again into less dangerous space. And then, if the center midfielder covers for him, the forward can cover for the center midfielder. And vice versa. If the center midfielder gets beaten, then the forward covers, and the center midfielder, instead of recovering this way, recovers through the center of the field. And once again, we have this endless supply of defenders. So this has been a video about how to recover through the middle, important for all players.